okay, like I'm coming out with this collection, and this is, like a collection of, shirts that, they have this type of story, this type of logo. Like, what's the story behind Neighborhood Watch? I felt like you mentioned it before, but what's the story behind? Like, what would you say in 3 words that is the story behind it?
It's like growing up in Clovis, it's like very diverse in terms of like socioeconomic status. Like you got really, really poor people and really wealthy people. And I wanted something that could mesh the two together to where like, because I feel like a lot of brands create a divide. You know what I mean? It's like if you're wearing Supreme, you're probably seen on like the higher spectrum of things. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of fucked up. Like if you make cool clothes, you make cool clothes. There shouldn't be like this is the rich people cool clothes. Like you know what I mean? So I was like neighborhood watch. Every neighborhood has a neighborhood watch, no matter where you live. You could live in some fucking rich gated ass neighborhood on the north side of fucking Clovis, or you could live in the freaking slums of like God knows where in Southside Fresno. Okay, but like no matter what, like there's a neighborhood watch and someone's always watching. Always. Like there's always someone that's always watching. It doesn't matter where you're at. So I was just like, this applies to everything, everywhere.
Yeah, and I really like the name, and I really like, like how it connects to the brand and to the story that you have behind it. And kind of like through that, another question that I had, is that in music, when an artist comes with an album of songs,
Uh-huh.
they kind of like you mentioned it, they prepare like all the songs they're gonna come up with. Like, okay, I like this song, I like this song, I like that one, and in a way they connect together, right? To kind of like create the album, whatever the album title is. And like I really like your idea and view of how you put it into words that, okay, like when you come in and you kind of like are coming with this collection, you're like, okay, I have 4 collections that are coming up, and kind of like you say, you don't just want one of the 4 collections to be a hit or to be booming. You want the 4 of them to be booming. And kind of like in your side, like how do you prepare, for your shirts to kind of like when they come, like the collection is coming. How do
Um,
you kind of like prepare for that collection and be like, okay, this is a badass collection that I see, and then you have another collection like this one is too, and then you're like this one is too, and kind of like when it comes to actually, like releasing them, how is the process like you kind of like working there?
um, so like that's actually one thing that I've been trying to work on a lot is because I feel like my product rollout isn't the most consistent. The reason I gave that example is because I feel like I'm a prime bad example for that example is like I will have like 4 good drops, but I'll try to rush things. And like that's something I'm actually currently trying to work on is because like marketing is a very big thing, especially like that's basically what everything is in this industry. You know what I mean? So if you're not marketing your products effectively, it doesn't even matter if it's cool. You can make the coolest thing in the world. And if it's not marketed efficiently or even like somewhat well, it won't sell. So I've been trying to like slow myself down and like do more lookbooks, like because people want to see it on, you know what I mean? They want to see it on a person. They want to see, oh, like what's it gonna look like on me? What's it gonna look like if I'm getting it for someone, you know what I mean? What's it gonna look like on them? So like product lookbooks are like a big thing that I'm trying to actually work on right now currently. And I feel like that actually helps a lot with generating like more sales and stuff like that. Because like I said, like people want to see what they're buying, people want to see what they're wearing. And if you show them, you're essentially saying like, this is what it is, this is cool. Basically what you're doing as a fashion brand is you're telling people what is cool and what's not. And like obviously like the success level of your brand is going to depend on if your stuff is whether like truly cool or not, but like that is the main job point of what we do is like you're supposed to essentially make what you make look cool to the consumer, and if you're not doing that effectively, obviously sales are going to be a direct result of that. Photo lookbooks I would say like are a very 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 big